I'm gonna do a 1 on the side, and then just a little trim on the top.
Okay, flip over comb.
So you want to flip over comb? What about you?
Yeah, we can do
All right. So when we get to draping our client, here's where we get to draping our client. We always put the neck strip on first. You never want the cape to touch your client's neck. So I go left, and then here. You never go over the top. So you go left, and you pull here, right? So there, keep it flat. See, I keep it nice and tight on the neck, and I just tuck it in. It's a perfect way to do it.
How you keep it flat when they got a wide neck though?
You gotta stretch it out a little bit.
I got some boys with them wide. I mean, I know you can
Yeah,
stretch,
that
but I
much
got
stretch.
some boys with them wide necks, and they be folding before I can even fold it.
That's the football player.
You gotta you.
What about the no neck?
Ooh.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
put it right there on the face, and just flip it over.
Yeah, yeah. So look, I'm gonna now just come down and tuck it over the cape. So I tuck the mug over the cape. And now, since anytime I do any length on the side, I always cut it as if it was a mid fade, because now I want it to flow with the head shape. All right. So you said y'all wanted to learn flip over comb. So I'm gonna put a 1 on the side. So I'm gonna put a 1 on the side right here, all the way around.
That's what he asked for.
Mm-hmm.
A question: What kind of haircut is he gonna get?
Yeah, he's gonna get.
styling wise.
Oh, so he's gonna get a little trim on top. So the trim, kind of pretty much how he has now. Only difference is that we'll have to give him a haircut. It's probably been about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's about 3 weeks, almost about a month. All right. So anytime I do a length on the side, any length on the side, 2, 3, half, as long as it's not bald. If it's bald, then I ask, okay, low ball fade, mid ball fade. If we want to drop, high ball fade, you know, whatever the case may be. But since it has a length on the side, I like to just go all the way around like it's a mid fade, because that's going to fit the head the most.
So it's not blasting that 1 all the way to the top. It's
No.
Yeah,
No,
just
so
so
we're
you
gonna
get there. Yeah.
We'll clip over comb from the Pritter Ridge, you know. So we'll take R1 to the Pritter Ridge, R1 open to like the top or to the midway of the Pritter Ridge, clip over comb the rest. Create a canvas that we can get to, so when we go to doing shears, we can have something to grab to. All
Does
right.
he do a comb to the left or comb to the side, or like the messy look?
Kind of forward and up right here in the front.
Okay. So it's a fringe.
Yeah. So here, 1 all the way around. You see how like I'm giving a little flipping technique? So 1 here, 1 here, all the way around. 1 all the way around. And you see I'm keeping it flat on the scalp. But when I get to the top, I kind of flick out. What I'm also looking for is if my client has any hair growth opposite of waves.
Yeah.
Because that's what you got to make sure that you're cutting the hair growth in the opposite way. Just like that, even on the scalp. So look, I'm gonna show y'all. When you try to use a full blade, you see how it still has the lines of the 1 from the guard in there. So this is why I don't use the full. I try to use half, and half. And I did it on the back because if we taper the back out or we lighten it up, then we can fix the lines. But I didn't want to do it on the side. So when I'm going, I try not to use the full blade because it's overworking itself, right? Even with the trimmers. So right here, half the blade. Half the blade, half the blade, half.
You don't see those hard teeth marks?
You don't see the hard teeth marks, but it also helps you stay, when you're using half the blade, half, it also helps you stay straight, more consistent with your line. Because if you get to doing real tedious lines, then you're putting hard lines into your haircut. And then it's gonna make your haircut harder for you to get those lines out. So you never wanna overwork yourself. So here I'm going up, 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 up. You see how I'm flicking out? Slight flick, go ahead and knock all this out. Go knock this out. So right now my focus is not my line. My focus is making sure everything on the bottom is as smooth as possible. And if we feel like everything is clean and consistent, come back to the opposite side, open my clippers up, I'm just gonna flip. The hair goes in a different way, then just go opposite of which way it's growing. But continue your flicking in the same area.
That's the lowest you're going for, you're going to skin fade.
Well, that's the lowest I'm going on the side because he didn't ask for a skin fade. He asked for one on the side. Even when somebody comes into the barbershop and they say, hey, can I get a one on the side? I mean, they say, can I get a mid fade? A lot of students, when we first opened up, they were automatically just bottoming them out. They thinking a mid fade is a bald fade, but it's not. Until they say mid bald fade or low bald fade is when it goes which type of trimmers. So just to clarify that up, especially for the new students, right? So they say a mid fade doesn't mean that they want bald on the side. All right. So this is where I'm gonna stop at. I flicked out, made this line not a hard line, but a soft line because remember we flicked out a little bit, right? So now what area of the head are we in?
In the right orange.
Right. So now I'm gonna take my comb and I'm gonna leave it flat against the scalp. You see that?
Usually the hair grows.
So I'm gonna go here, pick up, go straight up, straight up.
Doesn't matter if it's open or not.
I close it. I always close it. If I do a clip over comb, I close it.
Okay. And if you have an imperfection, you open it and just
I
flick
open it up and I just touch any spots
Okay.
that I gotta clean up. We're not focusing on this. We're leaving it flat. You see, how I'm not pulling my. Now, if you had long hair, linked hair like yours, I'd pull it out. But since we're going here,
She wants a certain shape.
well, her hairstyle is back, so you need that length. So right here, coming this way, going up, going up, going up, going up, right? You feel like you have a line or any imperfections, come back, open your clipper up, one open, flick out.
Because with the comb, you're already at that regard.
Well, yeah, with the comb, we already have like this is like a 1. So you got so right now I'm at a 2, but I have a 1 guard on it. When I leave it off the scalp, 1 to like maybe a 6. So this is how you can cut corners, cutting a 1 to a 6. Alright, so now I'm coming this way, going straight up, straight up, straight up, straight up. See that little line right there, little spot? Make sure I cut it. And that's just how his cowlick is starting to grow. It's starting to grow to the right. So we want to make sure that we comb the hair and push it opposite of which way it's growing to make it stand up straight. So we can grab that and cut it. See that? Same thing here. We're gonna go close it. Straight up, straight up, straight up, straight up, straight up. And imperfections, come back, smooth them out. One more time. Up. Saves you a lot of the time. But I'm showing you too, because even if you just learn how to fade from your 0 to your 1, as long as you're blending from your 0 to your 1 sling, you can come back and clip over comb a lot of hairstyles. So now y'all see like this sticking out right in here.
Yeah.
All right, so what can we do to get that out of there?
You can put like a 2 or 3 guard on there.
And we can have some length. Now we're taking some length off from the scalp. So now I'm gonna go with my 2 closed, and I'm gonna kind of go slightly in. So remember I was here,
Yeah.
but look, I'm here now,
You're kind of angling it.
and I'm gonna go up, up. And if it doesn't cut anything, then I can slightly go in a little bit more. But it's best to not just try to come in, and it's best to cut little at a time, opposed to just trying to come in and cut a lot. Because you can always what?
Yeah.
You can always take hair off. You can never add no hair. You can add hair, but that's chapter 16. We can do hair pieces, but finding hair to match is kind of hard. So I'm coming up, slightly angled in, listen for it to cut. And the reason why I prefer to teach with a guard on is because it gives it a consistent cut, composed to you here, and a lot of us are learning. So if you come here and you kind of freehand, then you're what? You're not consistent. So it's gonna be choppy. So I'm gonna open it up if it's a little choppy, smooth it out. Take the comb. Now, if this client has longer length hair on the sides, I would have instead of going to a 2, I would jump to a 4. Okay, and I'm gonna open it up, go against the grain of the cowlick. Right here, up, up. So I did that. Can we look in? I don't remember, but can we look now? You kind of see how his shape, except for our hair sticks out. But that's okay, because I can grab that with my shears, right?
Right.
Alright. So, let me go ahead and dust my client off a little bit. So now, since I created canvas with that comb, I can be able to find something to pick up to on the left side and also on the right side. So here, flip the hair a little bit. Get my shears. My shears. So what I like to do is I like to comb the hair this way, blend in this side, and I'll turn it back, comb them this way, and I'll blend in this side right here. All right. So my clipper over comb kind of gave me a guideline. You can kind of see the weight. So I'm gonna go here on the scalp. What I'm looking for, you see the point?
Yeah.
So y'all see how that points? This is straight across and it'll go like that way. So you see the point? So that's what I'm gonna cut.
And you're keeping with the shape of his head.
The shape
With
of
your
his head right
fingers
on
instead
here.
of keeping them straight.
Yep. I'm not cutting past. See how I don't come all the way up and do like this? Because like you come all the way here and you can barely see, but you also risk the chances of nicking your fingers with your shears. So
Changing your guide.
what I do is I here comb opposite of the way it's growing to make it stand up straight. And just trim it. Stay here. See the point? Take the point off. And so like even if he says I don't want nothing on top, I still gotta bring the sides to the top.
Yeah.
Because if he goes home and his hair gets wet, then it's gonna look like he have a chin bone or a hard line, real bulky. See right there? So I will cut it. See the point? Can you see? Point. So now my next guideline is here, but I'm gonna do what I would do to one side, I always do to the other, so you don't get lost. Get lost in the sauce, right? A lot of us get lost, but if we do what we do to one side, we do to the other before we move too far. Then we don't get lost, all right?
Keep it consistent.
Keep it consistent, you know. So right here, see the point? See short there, and there's a point. Just gonna trim that. Find it. Guideline's gone right there, right?
Yeah.
So look. Picking it up, picking it. Oh, there's the guideline gone, right? Straight across. Picking it up. You see how it goes up? Guideline is gone. Coming down. So that flows together right in there.
Yeah.
See the hair how it flows on the head shape. So let me do this side real quick. And also now this haircut I'm kind of cut it as an angle because he gets more like a faux hawk. A mohawk is all the way to the back.
Yeah.
So this is more like a faux hawk.
Front part of the mohawk.
So I'm combing it this way, and this one's gonna be slight. Should be slight, picking it up there to there.
So the very top of the apex. you
All I'm
don't
just doing
make
is cutting
apex on
the
just
little
sides?
points off. Because when it lays this way, when you see that hard line right here, or that bulk line, it's because it's not coming from right here, it's coming from up here, from where it lays over.
So you need it one side to the other?
So I'm just taking a point off right now.
Okay.
So when I come to the top, we'll meet one side to the other, because when I come to the top, that's that point.
Yeah.
But I still need some of this point towards the front to give it that style that he's trying to go for. Okay. See, there's a slight point. Picking it up. Alright, so now we already cut this area, right? Because if he picking this up, that's pretty much the style that he's going for, but he wants a little trim off top. So once I do the sides, now I'm gonna do the top area. Now she wants to trim a little bit off top, so I'm gonna get to the top a little bit. Still create that edge, so I'm gonna cut off there since my guideline is right there, and trim that much. This is what my shears are gonna do. Right there to there, you see it? So my point's gonna be right here. So look, so I'm gonna bring, to keep this length right here, right? To keep the bang, so how you create length is you over direct the hair. So I'm gonna bring this, let's call this front section A. So I'm gonna bring A to B. So we're to cut B, right? So I'm gonna bring my section back to B, and I'm gonna find my guideline. There it is right there. I'm just gonna trim that much. So now when it lays here, still have this length, and then we can go through there. And I'll show you how to cut make the bangs meet, but for sure, you can follow it over. There's just a little bit right there.
Just the tip, yeah.
And then now I'm starting from the front, kind of trim it. See, it's gone there. Kind of angle it. So now I'm gonna make this angled, kind of neat. Pick it out. Guideline's gonna be gone right there. So I'm gonna make this meet that, and it's not much. See that? So when it comes this way, he gets that style that he wants, right? See, I can still see. I'm gonna show you on this side. So I'm gonna bring this section A. We're gonna make it meet B, right? A is going to B. So I'm coming back. Find the guideline. There's the guideline. Look, right there. So I'm just gonna trim that much. All right. So we got it trimmed. So now I'm working my way to the forward. Now it's the traveling guideline. Picking it up this way. Find it. Now I'm gonna angle it, slight angle. Cut it. All I'm gonna do is cut the point off. Is there a point right here? I can't see. Is there a point right here?
It's like right there.
Right there, right?
How long has Mike been cutting your hair?
2 years now?
Cool. And you're faithful?
Yeah.
All right,
Been
good.
good so far. So
Good.
no complaints.
There you go. You'll know.
No, it's not, man.
It's not like to cheat every once in a while.
He goes out of town.
Yeah, it's the only other person
You
like
mean
Mike
Dallas
and my buddy John in Dallas.
A lot more people come with that too.
So remember I told you I would like to switch combs?
Yeah.
So we already went from one comb, now we're gonna go this comb. Smaller teeth is easier to do the edge up.
Okay.
All right. So here we're gonna find our. Let me dim this light tab there. I hope it don't mess up the green screen. So start here. We're gonna find our light spot, right? So if I line them right here to right there, is that light? I mean, will it look full?
No.
So if I line my client to right here and look to right there, does it look full?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or does,
Full road.
so if I line them to here where the hair grows, does that look full? No. Too light, right? So I'm gonna come here. See the little light spot right here? So I'm gonna follow that down.
Yeah, it's more prominent. Get that concept. But that's a professional pushback.
It's professional pushback, right? But it makes your haircut pop. You taper the back out or you going square out? Taper the back out or
Yeah.
square?
Taper.
Taper. Yeah. So when we taper it, we can just go ahead and take out all the light spot in the back. So let's taper this. Let's taper real quick. All right. Got room, so let's show you how to do taper. So what do we have to get to the top? Well, only have to get to a 1, right?
Yeah.
So if we do a low taper, if we do a taper right here, will our haircut last and will it pop?
No.
because we only have to get to a 1. So that means our blend will just look like this. So when I look to do haircuts, see I have a light spot right here and a light spot right here. So I just take the light spot out. You see that? So watch this. There. So I'm just taking the light spot out. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same thing right here. Stretch this fan, take the light spot out. And what do y'all want to take it with? The clippers? Masters or Magic clips? And you want to do open? But remember I came here and I flicked out. So it's not, you see a hard line, but it's not actually a hard line because I know that I can come with my clippers closed and scoop underneath that. Right.
It makes it softer when you do the trimmer underhand too.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. I see a lot of YouTube barbers doing this, and I don't want to teach y'all guys this way. Doing this way, doing this way, that way. It's a hard line. So when I first started cutting hair, I had to ask myself, what is the hardest line to get out? And it's usually the first line that you start with. So if you set yourself up, right, then you have something to come underneath and scoop and make your job easier. Now when you're more advanced and you can remove your lines, cool, by any means, do whatever technique you feel comfortable doing. But we're in school, I'm trying to show you guys the easiest ways to fade. You said open, closed?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do our clippers open. And see how I'm still flicking out? But I'm going up about a comb length. And the reason why I go up comb length on clippers open is because a lot of people do this when clippers open. And then they jump to their 1. Or they do clippers open and then they go midway. Then they go close. And then they jump to their 1. But if you've seen the details that I just did, my open is no longer open. Why? Because when I went midway, I brought my midway to my open. So the only how if you're gonna do those short steps is you gotta come back and you gotta come back and check your work. Cause this is open again, right? Mm-hmm. So I'll go up, open if I'm going about this much because I only have to get to a what? 1. Let me just get to this side of the head real quick. So do we have a clothesline in there that we got to get out?
Yeah.
It's right there, right? So I don't go open midway close. I go open close. Most of the time, depending on how you flick out, that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
So right here, I'm gonna change this so a little comfortable. Flicking out. And see, I'm not using full clipper.
Just have a clipper teeth.
Corners, right? Because I want to remove my lines, not put a hard line in. So if I got a little bit of a line right there, midway, and just the corners. And then what guard did we skip? The half guard, right? So our half guard can get the rest of this haircut clean
Yeah, bring it up.
because this half guard open is like a what? Like a 1 close. And I would just, as long as we know our guards and we continue to break down our guards every day, understand your tools and understand your guards. Because all you have to do, if you're gonna go open close, is open. And remember what the closed is. So this is half closed and this is your clippers open.
Yeah.
Right, that's all it is. It's just next guard, so just line it up. And it's good about Wall because Wall already has them lined up for you if you buy the tray. So right here, I'm gonna go midway because we were pretty much already did open. We already did close because that was our open. So here I'm going midway, but I'm also going against the way the hair is growing. You see that? Now I'm gonna open them up, smooth it out. This probably need to be oiled. And so I'm still flipping out. Did I get it all? Let me see me step back. Look at it.
Check the mirror.
Got a little line right here, right? Might be my midway. Let's put our edge up in, and the edge up will show us our flaws, right?
Yeah, make it pop out.
Light spot, looking for a light spot. For me, I think the light spot is actually right there. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
See that? Alright, so that's gonna be our light spot. Turn it over. Up. Stretch your skin. See there? But now look, since the hair grows this way, and this hair right here goes up and then down, it looks like it's darker right here. So this was gonna set barbers apart, your detail work. Like we're consistent with our technique, but our detail work is what's gonna make your haircut more pop in different areas. All right. So we know the great thing about putting the edge ups in is it shows you your flaws. So now we know hair texture is going that way. We went up. So now let's go, and we'll make that transition a smooth transition. Okay. So here on the edge up, same thing too. If I line it here, is it full?
No.
If I line it there, is it full? So I'm gonna line it like right there. See that? So when I'm doing haircuts, I look for fullness because I like to cut hair not for how great it's gonna look in my chair, but how good it's gonna look in 3 days. Right? Because a haircut in 3 days is gonna show you if it was good or not, because it's gonna show you all that new growth. It's gonna show you how the hair is laying, all the great stuff like that. So you see right here? So you see how as close as the hair grows to the ear? So the most sensitive part of the skin is here, here, and here. So we gotta be careful right here, right? So a lot of people will try to create the line really, really sharp. I just take a light spot, use the corner, come around the ear, pour the air down with my pinky, or if I use this 2 fingers and I pour the air down, whichever you comfortable doing. Me, I just use these, slightly stretch the skin, follow around the ear, and all I'm just doing is outlining, creating a guideline. All right. See how I outlined the hair, but I still left all the hair right there, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to take this and drag it
It'll flip it upside down.
because I risk the chances of nicking my line, right? So I flip it upside down, stretch the skin down, come up, up.
Yeah, I need practice on that part. Just using the corners of it, because I'll put another line into it right around the ear.
I'll show you the perfect way to practice on some paper. Or even your hand, yeah, paper. So I know that I gotta lift this spot up right here a little bit. So look, corners. I can do it without having to use my trimmers. See how I'm just I use corners picking out, and now I'm using corners like this. But if you learn your tools, then you can achieve anything. So it's great. The great thing is to learn your tools instead of having to go back and forth.
So when you go back and go over that line like you're on dark, are you relieving like kind of like as your pressure was? Like when you punch the line in first to set it, you have that certain kind of pressure.
My technique is my pressure is pretty much always the same because I let the clippers do the work. So if my technique is like this, it's the same, and then the pressure's still the same. Just angling my trimmers different, because at the end of the day, like I don't want to cause irritation to my client's skin, So right here, you can pull the air down, and create your guideline. Stretch the air down. Turn it over. Go up. Stretch the skin up and go up. Remember, it's not full here, it's full right there. So, there. Now you can turn your clipper over. Right. I don't want to give them like a real hard edge up. Just kind of find the hairs that are real light. Clean it up. Right. So right here, it's a light. Is there a light spot right here? Right there. So that's my light spot to line up my side of my edge up. Come over here. See that? So now, light spot, where's my light spot? Looking for a light spot, it's right there. See it? So I'm just gonna, I'll come to the side so I can see it. Come right here, look. This is my light spot. As you can find a little bit. Light spot right here. And look. Make the meat. Make the meat, make the meat. So we'll do that. And then I can kind of tell, like, just because it's hair texture and how the way it grows, that it's a little darker in the spot. So I'm just going to come back. So instead of using my wall one, I'm using my master's open.
Because that's the one close that you did at the very bottom, right?
Yep. So my master's open is going to be a slight bit shorter than that.
And then match it.
And then my master's open is slight bit shorter.
Just bends it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But it takes the weight out of the sideburn area.
And will we also be getting the edges across the forehead or just on the side?
No, just on the side because it kind of keeps it a little more natural. See how we did that?
Yes, sir.
So spin it around. We're going to look for any flaws in our haircut. I see a little bit of a line right here. But remember, clip over comb. Now, since I won't close these because I need it to be a 1.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep it open. See that? Let's put the hair again. Let's check the top. It's kind of like circulate like this. Everything flows together. Let's check that out.
Will you be putting product in there too?
I use the seesaw spray as I'm going through the hair. As I'm cutting the hair.
Okay.
So that's what helps me have that hold.
You so no pomade?
Not because he likes to keep it a little like natural.
Okay.
So like a light finish. But the seesaw spray once it lightens up, it
It
kind of gives it that
around
matte.
there, yeah.
Kind of gives it like that matte finish. Like,
Okay.
you have any questions? Questions?
But okay. So look, so you know how you said it's like more like a fall, right? It comes to that point.
Yeah.
So you said you did it from the sides first and then connect the sides to the middle. Was that how you said you did it?
Yeah.
To get that to achieve that point.
Yeah. So like, but I angle with the head shape.
Okay.
So, because if it was a comb over, then I'll cut this would be angled, and then this would all be straight.
Right.
But since we did like a faux hop, we kind of angled it,
Okay.
cut it like this. So the longer length is right in here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you said if it was a part, it would be what way?
If you wanted to part it, would be part it that like a comb over, whatever way, like he would comb it as a comb over. It kind kind of see how the edge of, I mean, the cowlick is kind of sticking over a little bit. So I'm just gonna come back here.
No, okay.
See that? Alrighty.
Yeah, that's smooth like
Got one, he got one little long hair hanging on his forehead a little bit, so I'm just gonna knock that off.
that. So when you started cutting, were you cutting just coarse or mixed hair clients? Or
I was cutting everybody.
straight
My
hair?
cousins are mixed, and then my other cousins are just Hispanic
Straight
too. Yes, I was cutting everybody.
Okay.
So when I went to barber school, twice, and I've never seen none of my instructors cut hair. Never seen none of my instructors cut hair. So I said I went open to school, but I wanted to show my students like great haircuts all day long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.